Hi there, I'm Evie Gibbons and today I'm going to be talking about question 3, development of production skills. I'm going to separate this question into many different areas to explain how my production skills have developed in each of these areas. So, for camera work and cinematography, I've used the Sony A58 camera and many different tripods, so Amazon tripods, Manfrotto tripods, and many hardware during this, and I've learned how to use all this technology, especially the Sony A58 because there's many buttons on this, and I've learned how to attach the camera to the tripods and also how to put SD cards in and just many basic things to know with technology. And at the start of the year I had no idea how to use any of this technology, so that's one production skill that I've learnt, basically just how to use technology for cinematography, for camera work. And I've learned how to film different types of shots and angles, such as high angles, low angles, Dutch angles, close-up shots, extreme close-ups, extreme long shots, etc. That's one of the main production skills that I've learnt, just how to use technology, such as hardware and software. And in terms of editing now, I have learnt how to use Final Cut Pro X, and this is a editing software which you can edit different scenes and footage basically, and I've learnt many basic skills on Final Cut Pro X, and I've learnt how to apply certain editing techniques such as continuity editing, shot reverse shots, and yeah. Some Final Cut Pro X skills that I've learnt are keyframing, cutting videos, layering, making green screen background turn into a different background, and changing the colour of things and using shortcuts for certain tools. Also, I've used many special effects on Final Cut Pro which can make the footage look very different. So for example, I used this effect called Cool Tones, and this made the shots look cold, dark, creepy and gloomy, and this is really what I wanted for my horror slasher genre film. And also I used another type of special effect called Crisp Contrast, which is very crisp and it shows a really harsh contrast between that and a different shot. And this was also very good for the horror slasher genre because it's very scary. It looked very scary and it was very dark and harsh and strong. And mainly I used these shots for the scenes which were scary. For example, in my lair scene, I had to make it look very scary, so I applied these different special effects on it to make it look like that. And I also used the special effect called Black and White, basic black and white, and I used this for the first scene in my film opening, which is the chase scene, to connote that this scene is set back in time, that it's happened before, that it's not in the present, and this works really well. For all these different skills, I've made a blog post on each one of these, and on these posts I've gone into detail on how to do it, and I've provided a video which is on YouTube on the process of doing that. So yeah, you can check my blog out. Also, I've learnt to include different narrative theories into a short film, because I made short films the entire year. Also, how to think under pressure, because I've had many deadlines set by Mr. Burrows on when to finish certain scenes, to when to finish filming certain scenes and editing certain scenes, so I've had to work under pressure a lot and made me realise the skills necessary for filming. Because if you don't know these skills, then you will not be able to make a successful film. You won't be able to make a film in a specific amount of time. Also, I've learned how to enforce editing skills such as continuity editing, 180-degree rule, motion action shots, shot reverse shots, and just achieving general verisimilitude throughout a short film. Also, I've learned more editing skills such as adding transitions using special effects. As I've said, for Final Cut Pro I've used many different effects and skills. Also, I learned how to edit a lot better in terms of cutting different shots in a non-linear way, and also using continuity editing. I also thought my filming skills have improved by being able to use the tripod and camera better, making certain camera angles and filming shots with no shakiness or blurriness. Also, I've learnt how to prepare for shoots by planning every shoot in detail before I go into the shoot, so with a precise time schedule, with the list of equipment needed so I don't have to keep going back and forth to get certain equipment. Also, to bring more than one battery for cameras, for example, Surf A58 GoPro. Also, to bring more than one SD card if you have more than just one, or in case it gets filled up. But if you don't have another SD card, then you should just prepare the SD card before you go to the shoot by clearing it. Also, for casting, I have learnt many skills, such as telling your cast exactly when you want them and what they need to bring, wear and look like. Also giving them a copy of the call sheet and writing everything down for them, what they need to know about the scene they are acting in and the costume needed for that scene, and just everything about the scene that they need to know. Also, I've learnt to prepare a substitute actor in case the actor that I'm relying on for the main role or any role can't make it or bails out halfway through the filming process, because these things can happen, and it did happen to me. Some of my cast just couldn't make it many times, and one of the main cast members dropped out and didn't want to do it anymore, so you need to be prepared for these things to happen. Also, the entire year experience, I've learnt basically to start the filming process and pitching process a lot earlier than January, which I did this year. So for A2, I'm going to be very prepared and start a lot earlier than I did this year. And also in terms of scripting, I've learnt that I need to prepare a good detailed script before entering a shoot, because before going to a shoot, I haven't prepared a script, so on the day I've had to tell the cast what to say, because for my film opening there wasn't generally any words to say, any script needed, so it wasn't very necessary. But for next year, for a music video, I have to learn that I need to give them the lyrics for the song so that they can learn the lyrics and they can come to the shoot prepared, knowing what to say. And yeah, I just learnt many skills that I will apply next year for A2 for making a music video. And yeah, I think that's about it. So goodbye, see you soon.